Hello and welcome to Chat with journalist Arthur Davies Sikopo, and of course this is journalist Arthur Davies Sikopo, and as usual we bring to you different people, of course prominent and eminent Zambians, to talk about different issues on this particular set. And of course this week I am glad to feature an opposition political party leader, Mr. Chanda, who comes from the United Peaceful and Prosperous Zambia. Mr. Chanda, welcome to this interview.
Thank you so much, and what a pleasure to have me on the program.
Indeed, yeah, I think we have been trying, but obviously finally now we can sit down and talk.
Yeah, I can imagine it's been a hard work to get me.
Indeed. Where have you been hiding, Mr. Chanda? In terms of, at some point I think maybe we start from maybe 2021 after the elections. Where have you been?
You know, the thing about politics, it's not talking. And after the victory by the current ruling party, the UPPZ, I did not see the need to start opposing them immediately.
Okay.
They needed to settle. So this is why in the first 2 years of the UPPZ, we decided as UPPZ to give them a chance.
Okay.
Because you are talking about a party that is ruling for the first time.
Yes. Some
things they didn't know them from inside.
Yes.
They knew them from outside.
From outside, as opposition.
As opposition. So you can't come and start throwing stones at them when they are just learning the inside part of government. So we felt that we worked as opposition. We were against the ruling party by then, PF.
The PF.
We wanted them to get out of power, which was successful. And the closest party was UPPZ.
Okay.
Yeah, so we thought as a way of showing solidarity,
yes,
I took a back seat.
Okay.
And began to watch so that we see how the baby UPPZ will start walking, running, and after 2 years we felt they've learned enough. So now we want to give checks and balances.
Yes.
And this is exactly what we did. Even by-elections, we only started participating in by-elections after 2 years. It has worked to our, to our own advantage, because we are not just there to talk. Like my colleagues, you talk every day with less action. I was acting. When the media didn't see me, I was actually working in rural Zambia.
You're working in rural Zambia?
Yes, we've managed to reach every part of the country. And right now, anywhere you go in rural Zambia, you talk about Mr. Chanda, they know him.
What mechanism are you using, Mr. Chanda, to to go around the country? Where you're not being seen, to make a lot of noise.
I've used media. I've used the radio. Yeah, I've used the radio to reach out to rural Zambia, and I've also used by-elections. When it is time for by-elections, I don't go there for by-elections. I go there for general elections campaign.
Seriously?
So I don't campaign for the person who is standing as a MP or councillor. I go there to campaign as president. So that method has worked, because at the end of the day, people even said, no, yes, we will not give the councillor the vote, but for you, when you stand as president, we know which president to vote for.
We have seen you gaining numbers, in fact, in these by-elections.
This is something.
What is the secret?
This is something that nobody gave us a chance. This is why I'm sure you've noticed that we are missing on the list of alliance partners. The reason was because they felt we are nothing. We are not, a factor in the political arena. That's why, when you look at opinion polls that are posted by you people in the media,
yes,
you deliberately remove my image. I don't exist to the media. The people who exist, they don't exist in by-elections. So I decided to work instead of depending on those that do not count you as anyone. So I've been working, and we have a message for rural Zambia, and I think with all honesty, I don't see any political party in Zambia that has a strong rural developmental agenda as UPPZ. That's our secret, and that's the weapon that we are using for the 2026 general elections.
Just recently, I think during your press briefing, I think we heard you, saying that, if you want to be president of this country, you will still be in government. What did you mean?
I meant exactly what I said. The time has come for us to contribute positively. So if I don't win the elections, you will see me in government, and it's just like that.
How?
It's I can't explain, but that's how it's going to be. You will see me contributing positively to the next government if it is not the UPPZ government.
Could it be that, because I think at some point, okay, say if you don't win, then obviously the other strong opposition, the other strong political party there is a UPND, which is in government. Of late, or in some statements, people might say that you seem to be at some point being aligned to them in terms of even just maybe speaking. At some point, you speak their language, like maybe you belong to the UPND, and maybe that's why maybe you're very confident that you're going to be in government.
Well, being a loyal citizen will always come at a price.
Yes.
As a loyal and patriotic citizen, I have a civic responsibility, and that is to respect the government of the day. Yes, I'm a president of a political party.
Yes.
But we have a national president. I cannot begin to put sand in the shoes of the national president because I want to be president. I must wait for the campaign period.
Yes.
Because he has a mandate. And so when we submit ourselves to the authorities, it is a biblical requirement. The Bible says, obey them that have the rule over you. But we have an advantage. We don't just obey, we give them checks and balances. So people think that when you give your opinions.
Yes.
Now the challenge is this.
Yes.
You can't tell me that everything UPND is doing is bad. But the opposition is opposition. Opposition doesn't see anything good. But we are not that kind of opposition that cannot see good and praise it. There are areas where the UPND has scored.
Yes.
And for one to now be antagonistic just because I want to remove them in power, that becomes unfortunate. And that's not me. If President HH does something that is correct, I say, big man, thumbs up. If he does something wrong, I say, big man, that area, it's not good. And if you do that, the government of the day will respect and follow what you say. For your own information,
yes.
Are you aware that President Lungu used to listen to me as an opposition? People don't know that. Do you know the 70-70 road?
Yes.
That was my idea. It was not a PF idea.
Okay.
PF wanted to come up with if you remember, a double-story road.
Yes, passing over Cairo roads from this side
from
up to,
McCain.
yes.
That was the idea that PF had.
Yes.
And they took it everywhere. They were even drawing that there's going to be. I went on TV, Prime TV.
Yes.
I said, that's not good for development. Because you already have an existing infrastructure. There is a road already. Putting another road on top will not change anything. Go and build a new road where there has been no road. You will affect that area economically, and you will see that prices of houses will go up and development will go there. That is what President Lungu picked, and he went to one of the churches. He made it very clear. He said, you know what? People say I don't listen to the opposition. Me, I do. But I will not listen to somebody who insults me. Then he now gave an example. This opposition president, he went on TV, he said this and this. That is exactly what we are doing. So you need to know your way of approach in politics, and that's what I do.
Does the current one listen to you? I know you'd offer advice and whatnot. Does the current one listen to you? Does President
does, but he will not tell you that this is from CC. I mean, there are things that I can see that, okay, that's my idea, but you know, the way politics are, you don't want to give credit to the opposition, but inwardly you know that if this, I was alive, I was on Kasempa Road, and I just said, what have the people of Kasempa done that you can't do their roads?
Yes.
You go now, the roads are being done. So if I didn't talk, if they were not listening, they would have ignored me. But I did it in such a way that they saw the sense that we need to make this road done. And so basically, he does listen. And it would be unfortunate and unfair to put a tag on President Hakainde Hichilema that he is stubborn, he doesn't listen to the opposition. Yes, if you insult him every day, how do you expect him to listen to you? He also looks at which mouth he can listen to. A mouth that insults him cannot be a mouth that can advise the president.
Mr. Chanda, just you on that particular issue, especially that, you know, maybe let me draw you to alliances, maybe before I ask this question. You seem to be not to be tagging along any of these alliances. I know you're almost starting to touch on it. Why is it that you are seen to be a loner?
You know, to kill a giant, you don't need an alliance. Go back to the Bible. David was alone. He was busy killing lions, killing bears. He did not even know the king from the personal point of view. But God prepared him. People that matter are not people that you bring together. Now, the challenge with alliances, yes, is their agenda. I don't agree with the agenda. So you can't come to me as CC and tell me that come, hold my hand, let's deal with HH.
Yes.
I'll refuse. Because we haven't quarreled with HH. Okay. I quarrel with the system of governance, not individuals. These people who are saying they want to remove President Hakainde Hichilema, they are the same people. When they form government, they would want people from UPPZ to defect to them. So now, tell me, the same thing applies with UPPZ. You don't want ECL. He loses elections, but you go and get his ministers and councillors. So what we are saying as UPPZ, we don't target individuals, we target the system of governance. You can remove a president and keep his ideology, which is work done is equal to zero. So we are saying the agenda is wrong. The agenda of removal, I don't agree with it. Come to me and say, Mr. Chanda, let's partner, because we have seen that your rural developmental agenda with our agenda, we can develop this country. I can work with you, not to attack an individual. That I'm not in that business.
Okay, and from your own perspective, how is he performing? How is the president performing in terms of different sectors?
I don't want to be harsh.
Yes,
and I also don't want to be that aligned to him.
Yes,
the issue here is that the UPND took over power with a country which had zero coffers, but what is working against them, they had a lot of promises against an empty coffer. So now they have failed to balance up. What they promised and what they found could not materialize what they said. So now it's 5 years. If you look at what they promised, people don't talk about, no, we have fulfilled 80% of our promises. That's not true. They never promised free education. They never promised CDF. CDF came when they were in power. Go and read their manifesto. You will not read the CDF in the... Those... I mean, I've followed UPND.
Yes.
I was part of the opposition.
Yes.
So sometimes I would go for their rally, not because I was UPND,
Yes.
because we were opposition.
Yes.
They never mentioned CDF and how much they will increase.
Yes.
So some of the things they say, we have fulfilled what we promised. It's not true. In fact, if you are to rate them on for promises fulfilled, I will be honest, it's about 10%.
10%.
I mean, tell me which one, the ones that we know. Meal we know. Fuel we know. Remove of middlemen we know.
Yes.
We talk about corruption, we know. We talk about all the fertilizer, FISIP, we know. But none of these has materialized. So which 80% are you dealing with? It's like, you have got 6 subjects and they say these are compulsory subjects. 3 are compulsory subjects. You get 0% in the compulsory subject. How can you pass the exam? So what UPND is supposed to do, they must not make themselves happy that we have fulfilled 80%. They must be remorseful when they are going to the people and say, no, this and this we've not done it.
Yes.
But we want to do it. These are the challenges we had. Because if they approach the people and tell them, we gave you free education, it was not part of the promise. The old man in the village who was waiting for minimum for 50 kwacha, not free education. I don't have children for free education. CDF, who has it? Some people don't even know what is CDF because it doesn't help them in any way. The roads are not done. Clinics are not done. So when you begin to exalt yourself in the midst of to be honest with you, on ground, and this is what my President Hakainde Hichilema should know, the ground is not smiling at UPND. That's the truth. They are not smiling. So if the president is not being told the truth, this is the situation. The ground is bad. Anywhere you go, start with taxmen. Taxmen will tell you, we know who to remove. We are just looking for who to put into power. So this is why UPND has to change the strategy. If they are thinking of making an impact in the 2026 general elections, they must not even look at success. They must realize that there's been no success and they must come up with reasons what delayed the success. Otherwise, in as far as the promises delivered, for me, that's about 10%.
He has been on one platform saying that he's Shosho number 1, so he's got all the information. So probably he could argue with your sentiment that the ground is bad for him. The challenge is when the president goes to a place. Let me be honest with you. Yes. By-elections. Yes. Are you aware that some of the by-elections that they claim they won, they never won? And the interesting. How? I know. I've been in by-elections. Yes. I know where figures were being changed. But I'm not somebody who fights. Because me, if you get something from me, which was supposed to be mine, I don't fight. I know God will fight you. But this is politics. Can God fight for you in politics? And He does. You said you saw where He does. God does fight. Yes. I'll give you a good example. Let's look at Saul. Saul was chosen by God. Who was chosen by? Who chose David? God. Now, in those days, you cannot take over until the one who is on the throne. There was no losing of elections. It was elimination. So there was Saul. David was chosen as a king, but he can't be a king because this man is there on the throne. Anyone who tries to fight Saul, God was still defending him because his time could come. God had the power to kill Saul,
but he never killed him. So David is there. He can also be said, but God, you chose me. Why am I not becoming a king? God waits for the right time. When the time is right, the one that he has chosen and the one that he has rejected, he brings them together for an equation, and the one who has been removed goes. The one who has been chosen goes up. You don't do it yourself. David almost made a mistake. He almost killed Saul. But he realized, you don't do that. He even said, this is the anointed of God. And yet the man was removed. He cut a skirt and it smote him. He apologized because you are not supposed to kill somebody since God was fighting for Saul, even when he was not having the throne. So you need to understand leadership from both the political point of view and the spiritual point of view. What I can assure you is that if a government steals elections, they will not go scot-free. If the government becomes you know, they begin to affect people, God will not leave it. Whatever a man soweth, that shall he reap.
But to some extent, you know, we are humans, and obviously, yes, you've talked about the Bible, but I mean, let's be realistic here. Why didn't you report some of those issues?
No, there's no need
for you to just have it on record.
To report to whom?
To the police. So at least
who chose the Inspector General of Police?
Even the people can have a record.
I'm asking you, who chose the Inspector of Police?
Of course, it is the president.
So how do you think excuse me, how do you think the Inspector General of Police will work against his boss? Some things you waste your time. This is why I laugh at my friends in the political arena.
Yes.
Some things, no matter what you do, you are wasting your time. Some things, leave them with God. God knows how to handle it.
You seem to be very religious, and I think maybe I should maybe start calling you Pastor Sisi.
Well, I'm actually a pastor and a missionary.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I've been a missionary in South Africa for 30 years.
Oh, interesting.
So I've been I'm a pastor. Once a pastor, forever a pastor.
A pastor. Okay.
Yeah, so the thing is, that's my background in terms of leadership and work. I was trained spiritually. This is why I don't do what my friends do. I don't follow their example because I know there's a point where God restrains one. Leave it. What I mean, do you know that there was a point where the ruling party, the day before the elections,
yes,
the cadres came, destroyed our car. Our members, leaders, couldn't go to the polling stations, and that's where we lost. So this is why I'm saying some things, it's a waste of effort. Don't fight. The Bible says, vengeance is mine. I will be an enemy to your enemy, and that's what I believe.
Let's look at the road to 2026, 13th August. How is it for you? How are you preparing for this election?
You know, I don't want to paint that great possibility and positivity, but I can assure you that we've done groundwork. There are some provinces, this I can tell you, yes, that UPND won't beat me. I know, I can even rest. I don't even need to go there now. I've finished the work.
Seriously?
There's no way President Hakainde Hichilema, in some provinces, I will not mention them, that he can beat me. No. Not even these people who are busy fighting and forming alliances. I've done my homework. So there are areas where I have worked.
That's very serious.
So this is why you don't see, where do you think I'm having the courage to even go and pay 100,000?
Yes.
Without an alliance? I've done the work. I have done the homework. This is why I've told you, if I don't win elections, I'll be in government. And you will come and say, Mr. Chanda said so.
The record is being kept.
Exactly.
And obviously, we'll turn back, I think maybe somewhere around 18, 19, somewhere there. But just in case you cross over and become the president.
Which is a great possibility.
I hope you won't forget me.
No. I can't forget the media, and I'll remember. Well, I know how I'm going to remember you.
Interesting. Now, in terms of your preparations, I know you've said you've done your groundwork. So far, if say. Of course, we only have maybe about 4 months to an election. In terms of rating yourself, obviously, maybe even against these opposition political parties, and of course, that party in power. Of course, you mentioned that in some provinces,
in some places, no one will beat me. Now, listen.
Yes.
When you talk about rating oneself,
yes,
we are dealing with reaching the hearts of people. I have reached the hearts of people, not the brains. I'm sure you understand.
Yes.
Some politicians, all they touch is the brain. Social media touches the brain. But real visits touches the heart. People who are touched by the brains, they can change today. They can be people, but the following day when they see something on social media,
yes,
this is why you have this. Today you have Chile 1 followers, same followers. The following day they are your maps. The following day they are this. It's because you're only touching the brain.
Yes.
But if you touch the heart, that's it. I know how to touch the hearts of people, and I have touched many hearts.
When you look at still on the road to 13th August 2026, we've seen a number of and we're still seeing a number of changes being done around especially the electoral laws. We're just seeing delimitation, which has added 70 constituencies to 156, just barely 4 months before elections.
If you want to be positive, you can be positive.
Yes.
Everything in life has got two sides. Look at me.
Yes.
There will be people that will be negative, others will be positive. So it depends on which side. Now let me tell you the honest truth and the real picture of this delimitation.
Yes.
It has got two sides.
Mm-hmm.
There is the negative side. There is the positive side. I have refused to deal with the negative side.
Yes.
I know the negative side.
Yes.
And I know the consequences and the reasons why you have 70 constituencies. I know the negative side, but that's not my concern. Since it's already done, I focus on the positivity. And so we are saying it's positive. It's something that we must support, because at the end of the day, we must use it as a vehicle to take development in all areas of the country. So it's something that we are taking advantage of. The CDF will now increase. I mean, if one constituency has been split into two, they'll get double money. And then development will be there. So let's close the negativity part, because if we open it, I can spend the whole day telling you the evil of the limitation, but I avoid that.
Okay, and in case of when you become president, let's look at some of how you handle some of those things. You have mentioned that you can't cry over certain things that have already been made and been done. Would you maybe in any possible way maybe try to reverse some of those things that you see to be bad today?
You know, this is the problem that we have in Africa. In Africa, when people become president, they change everything, like a wardrobe. They want the new things. You don't do that. There are certain things you improve. You only remove something that is destructive. I'll give you a good example. Free education. We will improve it. We will take it as far as university. CDF. We will make sure that the money is available, not on paper, physically, and it must be constituency development fund, not cadres development fund, because now CDF It's C, it is still C. But they've removed community.
Constituents.
Or constituents. They've removed constituents. They've put cadres.
Okay.
It's a cadres development fund.
Others who argue against that.
Bring them here. How many cadres have benefited? The people who are running those projects, they are not from the opposition. Those who are delivering desks, they are not from the opposition. They are from the ruling party. So we want to ensure that the money is spread across and everybody benefits. Even those who got loans.
Yes.
You will be shocked that it's not everybody who had access to those loans. Not everybody.
So, but is this trend just now? Because I mean, CDF of course has been there even before the UPPZ.
It was there, but
yes.
Not in this format.
Yes.
Now it has been used as a vehicle of corruption. Before, it was only 1.6 million.
Yes, it was 1.6, yeah.
Because the other things were being done by central government, which was a very good idea. Now, you can't give somebody who is not even a carpenter to make desks. Go and see how many desks are broken. Who is going to repair? There's no budget for repairing. So you build to destroy. Yes, you want everyone to benefit, but there are certain things you can't give the community to do. Desks are not something you buy in 1 year. Every year you are buying. 5 years is enough for a desk to be there. Some of the desks we are using, I used the desk from grade 1 to grade 5 under UNIP. This was, I challenge the media. Start visiting the schools and ask them to show you broken desks. Then you will see the effect of CDF.
Interesting, Mr. Chanda, that coming from you. Anyway, you say you have been on the ground, and that is very interesting coming from you. And I think, obviously, we can hope that the media can, follow up some of these things and
I'm going to find out.
Try to see
how do you justify
the truthfulness in that.
You buy a road work construction vehicles.
Yes.
You park them at the council. Why? There's no fuel. Now, tell me, why did you buy an expensive equipment and there's no budget for diesel? So now, really, the issue now comes in. So the guy who was the tender for this, he got his money.
Yes.
So this is why I'm saying cadres development fund. So
for you, how would you do it?
When we are dealing with CDF,
yes,
we must look at the needs of the community. When you look at the needs of the community, you must split them into two. We have those that can be under local government and those that are under central government. Heavier responsibilities should never be local government. They should be central government. This is why we have cabinet ministers. The permanent secretary at the ministry should still have a right to go into the community because he is not there just to sit in office. Yes. You are the permanent secretary of the Minister of Water Affairs. You cannot delegate the issue of water affairs to the local authorities. Then what's the point of having central government? So until we realize that, now this is what happened, and people don't know. How did the UPND increase the CDF?
Yes.
They were very clever. They went to each ministry and reduced their budgets. So Ministry of Education were supposed to be in charge of procuring desks.
Yes.
But the UPND thought that when they do that, the people who benefit, it's the minister, the PS, and those people in the accounts, because they are the ones who. So they decided to remove that component and take it to the community. What they forgot is the quality assurance policy. You go and buy expensive desks, but they will last you for 5 years. Then you go and buy cheap desks and they will last you for 2 months. So you need to look at the central government and local government. They must not cross their paths, but under CDF, they've crossed their paths. How can local government be buying ambulances? That is a responsibility of the Ministry of Transport. Then why should you have the Ministry of Transport? This is why you buy an ambulance and these vehicles, because you have made the Ministry of Transport powerless. When those things are broken down, they are selling them. I almost bought one of the road feeder machines from one of the, I won't mention the council, they were auctioning it. But I thought twice that if I buy it, they can use it to decampaign me, that I'm the one who bought the CDF. It was bought at 5 million and then I bought it at 800,000. So they were going to shut me up. I decided not to. So Ministry of Transport should still be Ministry of Transport. But now, when these vehicles are broken down, there's no money to repair, because they are waiting for CDF, and CDF doesn't factor in the repairs. They don't. So you sell it. So there is that aspect which we as UPPZ would want to correct in the CDF issue of dealing with development.
So let's look at the economic sector. In terms of your proposed policies and all that, we know that you seem to have some very passionate touch on the mining in the mining industry, and of course today the mining industry is being positioned to of course we have been using the mining industry mostly for our economic what's it said, but there are those marks that like the president has put, that like is it 2 million metric tons of copper in a year and all that. In case of your policies, what do you have in terms of what will be the mainstay of Zambia's economic driver?
We cannot run away that our economy is centered on the mining sector.
Yes.
The only unfortunate part is that 98% of these mines are foreign owned. We have no say. So you can't even say we are going to produce 2 million tons of copper. For who? It's not your copper. And you cannot dictate to foreign investors to produce that much. Even if they do, it is not your copper and it's not your money. Our policies are wrong in the mining sector. This is why as UPPZ we have proposed a change in the legislation, in the policy of the mining sector. Number one, must be direct beneficiaries of the mine. If you don't give them employment, then there must be social cash transfer for them, because they are the owners of the mine. And then companies cannot be destroying the environment and not developing the environment. They are digging. Who is going to take care of those trenches?
Yes.
So as they destroy, they must build. They must build schools. They must build clinics. It must be compulsory. We must have universities in all provinces that are built and sponsored by local investors. They are building universities in their own country from our own resources. So we need to have a deliberate policy and say, look, this is your area. You are responsible for putting up an infrastructure. But it's not like that. They get all the money. 100% income from the mines is allowed to be shipped out of the country. Then they now bring change to come and pay the workers. That is not right. We are not going to allow that. There is no control. This is why we want all precious minerals. They must be part of the state. They are going to be nationalized. Gold, copper, sugilite, it will be run by the state.
Sugilite, which I thought that it's finished.
Those are lies. They don't want you to know about it. It can't finish. It's there.
Interesting.
Yes, so sugilite is there. If you challenge me, I can even get a photo of that sugilite and say, here it is. And this is where they are producing it. So don't listen to propaganda. They want you to keep quiet. But they are there in Wapula province. They are mining it.
But Mr. Chanda, since you have some of this information, why can't you bring it out so that at least people can know? We know that it will be very difficult for them to act, but people will at least know and say, okay, but CC told us about this.
No, now there's no way you can take it. If a truck of Sujirite at the police station can be stolen, I mean, where are you going to take the? What about the information? If physically they can remove the trucks and you don't trace them, do you think the information will be traced? There's nothing you can do. This is why my stance is, let us watch and see. Some things you can't talk. You just watch and leave them into the hands of God.
Mr. Chanda, as we get to this particular interview, it has been great, of course, having you and just getting to hear, your vision for this country. And of course, you have outlined quite a number of things out there in terms of what you would do when you formed government. As we wind down, Mr. Chanda, what are some of the critical things I think that as Zambians should look at, as we go down to 13th August from CC and of course his UPPZ?
Number one, we want land for citizens. Right now we have a deficit of 3.5 million plots. 3.5 million Zambians don't have plots. The meaning, if you don't have a plot, you don't have a toilet. Now you imagine, as an adult, the toilet you are using is not yours. Where's the dignity? You have a nice car, beautiful car, but you are renting a house. You don't have a toilet. That toilet you are using, the owner will come and say, please, no one will go to my toilet. What are you going to do as a big man?
Yes.
So we want Zambians to have land, and I have a plan to ensure that Zambians have land. I know where the land is, and on this one, no one can beat me in this country.
Okay. Mr. Chanda, maybe before you proceed on that, we saw that in 2019, you had some issues
I had
over land.
Politically motivated.
They were politically motivated? Because
they noticed that it's like I was a runaway chap. Mm-hmm. If they don't hold this man, mm-hmm. he would decampaign us. Mm-hmm. But they took me to court and yes. I won the case.
Yeah, you were arrested and then they took you to court.
Yeah, I won the case. Because really, that was a business venture. Mm-hmm. And there was no way it was going to fail if the government did not come in to block what we had planned to do. So that one, it's a long, now, it's a lost issue. The fact is, 5 years I was in court, I was disturbed. So how do you?
And in fact, how do you move with your head high? After
I haven't done anything wrong.
Destruction.
No, yeah. The issue here is that I didn't do anything wrong.
Yes.
The deal didn't go through because of political intervention, political obstruction.
Yes.
I had the way out, and those who were ready, I gave them different plots. Mm-hmm. But because those who came were sponsored, can you imagine? You go to court, the magistrate will ask you, do you want your money back? You say no. Oh. Do you want your land back? You say no.
What do you want?
Then they say, what do you want? No, you must jail Mr. Chanda. Do you see now? So they went to court, not because they wanted land or they wanted their money. They wanted Mr. Chanda to be jailed. What has he done? If it's land you brought him, why didn't you put up a civil claim and get your money? And I don't want my money. Because the money was not theirs. Some of them were sponsored by some people. I got the information. How can you not want 100,000? So now, when the court says Mr. Chanda is not guilty, are you going to make me to feel bad when you didn't want the man? I'm doing what you wanted. You don't want the money. You don't want the land. So me, I must feel guilty. No, it's not my problem. If you said you wanted land, I was going to give them the land. But they said they didn't want. So that's how they lost the case. So today you can't come up and say, no, Mr. Chanda did this, did this. You didn't want the money, you didn't want the land. So what must I give you?
Indeed.
I mean, let's face the realities. What do you want me to give you? I must give you my children to marry, or you want to marry me? You must tell me. If you wanted me to be your boyfriend, you should have said it. No, I don't want money. I just want this man because he has got money. I want him to be my boyfriend. They should have told me. Maybe I was going to think about that.
Yeah.
So they didn't want the money. They didn't want the land. So there we are. Who loses?
Indeed, we continue as you are winding up in terms of course, you mentioned of 3.5 million people not having,
Zambians without toilets. Yes. So what we are saying now is that as UPPZ, we want every man to have dignity. There's no dignity. You are having a suit and a tie. But then when you want to ease yourself, you must go and you imagine you are a doctor. You are using a toilet of a man who has never been to school because he's a landlord. No, that is too much.
Interesting.
It's too much. I mean, you have got a degree. You imagine a degree holder, no toilet, and then the toilet you are using is the man who left school at grade 5, but you are using his toilet. And you are proud of that. How can you be proud in your graduation gown when you don't? That's why when I look at people, I just say, look at these are people without toilets, so I don't even bother myself.
The other aspect, obviously, of what Zambians should expect from you, in terms of maybe health, what are some of your priorities as we wind out?
We need to focus on rural Zambia. The women in rural Zambia are the most suffering Zambians. I mean, you can imagine maternity facilities. One room, it's a ward, a man is there and the woman is giving birth. There's no dignity for our women.
Yes.
We want to stop that. Each community with 200 houses should have a medical facility. Decent and not dehumanizing kind of facility. We want clinics to be in a place where you can reach. Not, how can you walk with a headache to a place that is 10 kilometers? How many sicknesses are you going to have by the time you reach there? You had a headache, now you're going to have pain in the legs. The sun will also scorch you. So we are saying no. This is why I said, if I make somebody to be a minister of health, it's not minister of health in town, also in the village. Think about how these women are suffering. They are part of the citizens. That's part of Zambia. This is why when you say one Zambia, I fail to say one nation. I can't.
Why?
It's one side.
So it's one. Okay, according to you, it's one Zambia, one.
One Zambia, one side.
Interesting.
It's not one nation, because one nation, other people are drinking clean water. You imagine in the cities, water for the toilet is we put chlorine.
Yes.
I mean, okay, what is the logic? You are going to flush this water, you put chlorine. And then the people in rural Zambia, the one they drink
doesn't have anything.
No chlorine. Then what is that?
But that is what most of you politicians, I mean, all these politicians, all these that have been present.
No, I'm not one of them. I've never been in power. So on that one, you can't put me in unless after 5 years of my presidency, then you can say most of you. On that one, I'm not part. It's them.
It's them.
No, me, I'm not there. They must try me as well. When they try me, then they can say, you politicians. On this one, I'm clean, I'm innocent.
Mr. Chanda, thank you so much. And maybe just your concluding remarks on this particular
concluding remarks
interview.
are that Zambians, by now we should learn. Good leaders, we vote them too late, and sometimes we never even vote for them. May his soul rest in peace. President Michael Chilufya-Sata. Because of his educational background,
yes,
people are saying, no, we can't choose this one. Even his own president said, not this one is not educated.
Yes.
He can't succeed me. They chose a man who had a degree and overlooked a man who did not even have a grade 12. The man with a degree, he didn't do as much as this man without a degree did. Leadership is from God. People voted for Michael Chirufyasata too late. Oh, by the way, that man was an uncle to me. Okay. He only lived 3 years as a president. You know why? Because we Zambians were saying, no, this man is mad. This man is mad. And God was listening. So when he became president, God said, you were saying the man is mad. So I will take him. We'll see what happens. Go to Mchinga. There's a road, Kwana Wadachuombo. He started it. When he died, the road died. Not anybody from PF have thought about or really thought about the Link Zambia 8000. I mean, can you imagine? Somebody who did not have a degree had this thing, Link Zambia 8000. What an intelligent man. The man knew all the corners. He knew the geography of Zambia more than the lecturers of geography at the University of Zambia. He knew everything. And yet we are saying the man is not educated. I mean, look at it now. Link Zambia 8000. This is why UPPZ is picking up that one. I'm picking it up.
Okay.
We are going to continue with the Link Zambia 8000 because that's a noble project. And mark my words, within the first 5 years, Zambia will be linked up. If you are in Lusaka and you want to go to Zambezi, you won't need to go through the Copper Belt. You will go through Mumbwa. You will tar that road. Or put a bridge and remove the pontoon, and you will see how Zambia will develop under UPPZ. This is why nobody can come and tell me that no, us, we are the party that can rule. They destroyed the very foundation of that party that Margaret Chirufyasata left. And this is why I'm saying, I'm picking up where my uncle left. And I want Zambia to be the way it's supposed to be. Give me an opportunity and you won't regret.
Mr. Chanda, thank you so much. I know you've mentioned that come August 13th, it's either you be president or you'll be in government.
There are no two ways about it. This is being recorded. If I'm not president, I'll be a very important figure in the government and affecting and influencing how Zambia is going to be. So Zambia, see you 2026. I'll be there.
Thank you so much. And it's always great talking to leaders like yourself. No, and thank you so much for taking time to be here.
Thank you so much.
Well, viewers, we've come to the close of this week's show where I was featuring Mr. Charles Chanda, an opposition leader, the leader of UPPZ here in Zambia. And of course, we were just looking at different issues around governance and of course around politics. Until next week, this has been a chat with journalist Davies, and this is journalist Davies. Goodbye and God bless you.